Hey guys, Nick Davis Hypnotherapy, NLP and life coaching. Okay, so when you're doing self-development or you're working with a therapist, there are three different types of things that happen to you. I call them rocks, stones and sand. So the rocks, as you can see here, are the bigger things that happen to you, and these are the things that you would class as PTSD or trauma. And these are things like violence against you, abuse, scary accidents, or witnessing any of those things. Obviously there's a lot longer list than that, but I'm just summarising for the purposes of this short video. So when you have the rocks in your life, it's really, really important to get a robust technique to basically break those rocks and smash them so you can get them away. And that's the blast technique. It's probably the fastest and most effective technique in the world at the moment for treating PTSD and trauma very, very quickly and efficiently. Also, it doesn't leave you in a state of trance, so it's not like a confusion principle where when you think about the trauma, you just go, which is quite dangerous if you've been attacked. It allows you to remember the memory, but it takes away all of the emotional charge. It basically processes it as your memory should have at the time, so that you basically learn from that incident and you stay protected for the future. The second lot of stuff that we deal with are smaller traumas that I call stones. They're the kind of smaller things. And the reason I use these metaphors is we all have an emotional rucksack that we carry on our back everywhere we go with all the positive and negative things that have happened to us. With the negative things, the more emotionally charged they are and the bad they are for us, the more we kind of revivify them, think about them again and again in nightmares, in daymares, in memories and things like that. Are likely to be these things, and what that does, it weighs you down, and it can create things like stress, anxiety, low mood, depression, and a whole host of mental illnesses. So what I specialise in, and the blast technique specialises in, is getting rid of these rocks and the stones. And smaller traumas can be things like financial issues, if you've gone bankrupt or you've got into debt, relationship breakups or issues, minor injuries or assaults. But these are still traumas. This is what people misunderstand. They're still traumas, even though they're on the lower end of the spectrum of trauma. So you're likely to have fewer of these, quite a few of these, and then we come on to the sand, and everybody's got sand. I've spent the last 20 years in personal development on myself, prior to that studying it, but actually in the hot seat, and I sit in the therapy chair, at least one therapy chair every single year of my life, most of the time 2 or 3, in order to process everything. And what I get to is I've still got sand, and sand is just emotional events that mean something but not very great. So if we had to give a spectrum of how bad these things are, 0 is it doesn't bother me whatsoever, it's nothing at all. 10's the worst it could ever be. Your 8, 9s and 10s are here, your 7s, your 6s are there, and 5s, 4 to 1s are over here. So these are little things. This could be, oh, I don't like one of my neighbours, they keep behaving in this way, oh, this thing niggles me, or I don't like the way that person does that, or this happened to me. The blast technique will still treat these things here, but also what we would use here is it's helpful to use NLP and hypnotherapy for these things because they're not purely trauma based. So there are other things we need to learn around that. So just remember when you're looking at, and sometimes I see a lot of clients from all around the world, and sometimes people will fly in or drive up from wherever they are because they've had all these different treatments, but they still have these traumatic memories, the rocks in their rucksack that they can't get rid of. And they may have been on an odyssey of therapy like myself for 20 years to try and heal those things, but they still got these. Whereas you should have 1 or 2 of those or a few of those that you're still working on. Because you never get there. You'll always have to look. There's always sand. If you go on holiday, you take all the rucksack, your rucksack and everything else, but you'll always find sand. Sand is okay because they're just little niggles in life. You can't have a life without little niggles. That's the way it is. Unless obviously you meditate for a long time. So one of the things that I see is when a lot of therapies and techniques work on the sand, but forget to work on the root causes, all these really, really important things. So if you're interested in working on your stuff and you want to work with me, you can find my website. It's www.nd for Nick Davis, hypnotherapy.com, all one word, ndhypnotherapy.com. If you want to find out more about the blast technique, go to www.blast-technique.com. And you can learn it there as well. If you want to train to be a therapist, go to www.wsoh.co.uk. That's the Warwickshire School of Hypnotherapy, which is my training school. So I love your comments and feedback. This is a video for therapists and for people working on themselves. So there's a good understanding of how things work, and hopefully these short videos are helping you learn things, and they're not too long. All right, so take care, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care, guys. Bye.